Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer 40,000, and today we're going to take a look at the Adepta Sororitas. Now the box set we're going to take a look at today is the Combat Patrol box set, which you can use for Combat Patrol games by itself, or indeed you can use it as a great place to build and start your Adepta Sororitas army. In this video, we're going to go through the rules of every unit inside this box set and how they can be built, and then take a look at some other units we can use to add on to this initial purchase. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points to hopefully give you some inspiration for starting your own Adepta Sororitas army or Sisters of Battle army for Warhammer 40,000. And so, to begin with, the box set, first of all, contains a Canoness. The Canoness is a pretty much your generic sort of leader for the force. You've got some cool rules like lead the righteous while this model is leading a unit. Each time that unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. And the Emperor's Grace allows you once per battle at the start of any phase, this model can use this ability. And if it does so until the end of the phase, this model has a 2-up invulnerable save. So once per turn, normally this would be if your opponent maybe charges in a combat character that has something like precision strike in combat, or potentially her unit's wiped out, so she's now stuck by herself, and you don't want her to go down, you can use this as well. Now, she does have a few different war gear options, quite a few different combat weapon options, and some different shooting weapon options, which are really fun. The Null Rod is one of the war gear options you can take for her, where you get Feel No Pain 4+ against psychic attacks for her unit, or the Rod of Office. Each time you select the bearer's unit as the target of a stratagem, you roll a d6, and on a 4+, you gain a CP, effectively replenishing and refreshing your CP. Next, we have the Battle Sister Squad. This is your standard sort of unit for the Adepta Sororitas. Now, you'll get 10 Battle Sisters in here, and the models in here are an easy-to-build kit, so they are set options within the kit. This means that your Sister Superior in the unit is with the Bolt Gun and Chainsword. You've then got a Storm Bolter and Flamer as your special weapons, and you've got a Smaragdum Imperialis in the unit as well. But that all said, you do have some cool things. You've got your Amortium Cherub, where once per battle, after this unit's performed an act of faith, you can gain 1 Miracle Dice. And Defenders of Faith, at the end of the combat phase, for each objective marker you control that has 1 or more units from your army with this ability in range of it, you'll gain a Miracle Dice as well. So these make for great objective holding units. Now, if you wish to, there are definitely some ways you can convert up the models, give some different equipment, especially the Sister Superior. With her hands outposed like she is definitely quite easy to convert some other weaponry on once you start picking up a few other kits. But you've got things like power weapons and available to you, as well as artificer crafted storm bolters, multi-melters and heavy flamers, and melty guns all in the unit as well. So a variety of different weaponry. Now, next up is the Seraphim, which are the jump pack troops you see in the back of the picture there. Now, once again, these models are the easy to build kit, so you do have some select weapon options on them, but that's not really a bad thing. You've got the power weapon and plasma pistol there, and then twin bolt pistols on the rest of the unit. They've got some cool rules, so Angelic Ascent in your shooting phase after this unit of shot, if it's not within engagement range of any enemy units, it can make a normal move of up to 6 inch, and if it does so, it can't make a charge until the end of the turn. This is pretty cool though, being able to go into, say, your 12-inch range with your bolt guns and all of that, shoot them off, and then withdraw another 6-inch, making, an 18-inch range that your opponent has to try and cross to be able to charge you. Is going to be pretty hard if you're just shooting into like some infantry or stuff like that with a base movement of 5 or 6. We then get 3 Arcro-flagellants in the unit. These are a small little unit. They're going to provide you with dedicated combat. So you do have 4 attacks at a 4+, strength 5. No AP though in damage 1, but it is the strength 5 that's that little bit better than your average sister, who's not going to be rocking that high of a strength. And you've got the Extremis trigger word as well, where each time this unit's selected to fight, you can choose to invoke its Extremis trigger word. And if you do so until the end of the phase, the Acro-flagellants equipped by the models in this unit will change their attacks characteristic to 6, and will gain the hazardous ability, but they've also got sustained hits 1 on those weapons and twin link, so this can turn them up to quite a nice little blender for you. Next, we have the Repentia Superior and 4 Sisters of Repentia. Now, these go together to create a single unit. The unit will be led by the Repentia Superior, who effectively is in charge of directing these sisters who are trying to repent for the sins of potentially not putting the towel back up after drying themselves off. Now, they have some cool combat weaponry. You've got the Penitent Eviscerator, 2 attacks, weapon skill 4+, strength 6, minus 2 AP and damage 2, some really good combat potential in them. And you've got the Overseer of Redemption. While it contains the Repentia superior in the unit, each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack, you can reroll the hit roll, and if this unit made a charge move this turn, you can also re-roll the wound roll. We then have a singular Penitent engine inside the box set as well. Penitent engines are, once again, these are Penitents, but these are generally not sister Penitents, though they can be as well. These will be people who have committed sins against the Emperor and his creed, and indeed his followers and subjects, and are now put in these masterful machines that sort of pump them full of pain-inducing drugs in order to get them to fight for them. But the Penitent engines have a variety of combat weaponry. The one in this box set will be equipped with 2 Penitent Buzzblades, which is pretty cool. What this will do is get sustained hits 1 and twin linked. We have 4 attacks per model, weapon skill 4+, strength 10, minus 3 AP, damage 2. You've also got the Endless Suffering, where the unit's eligible to declare a charge even in a turn in which it advanced. And then lastly, we have the Rhino in the box set as well. The Rhino is just a dedicated transport, can carry up to 12 models in the side of it. This allows you to put your Battle Sister squad along with maybe some attached heroes inside of this transport and give them some extra mobility and protection around the battlefield. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, where to look to next? And the first one is probably bring some more dedicated combat. Yes, we have the Repentia and we've got those Arcro-flagellants, but I think bringing in a unit that definitely has some defense on its side as well and will provide a good bodyguard for our characters, and that is the Celestian Sacrosancts. Now, these are a really fun unit to bring to the table. First of all, you're going to have the option for either Anointed Halberds, which are 2 attacks, weapon skill 3+, strength 5, minus 2 AP, damage 1, or you can go for the Hallowed Mace, which has a lower strength of strength 4 and lower AP -1 but aren't damage 2, so you've got a couple of different options. The unit's leader, the Celestian Sacrosanct Superior, can take the Spirit of the Faithful, which is sort of the best of both worlds, so you've got strength 5 minus 2 AP, damage 2, hitting on a 3+, and also has 3 attacks, so everything is sort of rolled into one for their particular weapon. Now, other than that, you have the option for a couple of different pistol weapons on the Superior as well, with plasma pistols, hand flamers, bolt pistols, and inferno pistols as well. But you've got the Swarm Protectors rule, which is their big thing. While the Canoness, Palatine, or Judith Urrutia model is leading this unit, each time an attack targets this unit, you can subtract 1 from the wound roll, which is a really nice benefit. And so, where to go next after the Celestian Sacrosancts, which we're going to look at the Immolator, definitely bringing some armor to our force, which I think is really important for the Sisters of Battle, who are a little bit frail. Now, the Immolator itself is a sort of tank cross-transport hybrid, can carry 6 Adepta Sororitas models, perfect for the Sacrosancts we've just talked about, say with the Canoness joining them. Now, you have the fire support rule with this model, which is really cool, where in your shooting phase, if this shoots at something, a unit that jumps out of it can actually shoot as well and get rerolls to wound. But you've also got the ability with your Immolation Flamers, which is the standard weapon of 2d6 shots with the Ignores, Cover, and Torrent ability, and strength 6 minus 1 AP, damage 1, to swap to either Heavy Bolters or Multi-Melters for some anti-tank goodness. And so, looking next, let's look at some actual tanks, a dedicated tank, and that is the Exorcist. Now, the Exorcist for me is really cool. First of all, you're going to have the Exorcist Missile Launcher, heavy and indirect fire as your standard weaponry. D6 plus 2 shots at a 36-inch range, hitting on a 3+ with strength 10, minus 2 AP, and damage D6. You can also take that Hunter-Killer missile on the vehicle as well if you want, but you can also choose to swap out the anti-tank weaponry it's got for the Conflagration rockets instead, which will gain blast, heavy, ignores, cover, and indirect fire and be 3d6 shots, but they will have no AP and only be strength 5. Now, next, the Sisters of Battle are an army that has plenty of these smaller style characters that can go into your units. What I mean by smaller style characters is this is sort of a secondary character that can join your unit that already has someone like a Canoness, Palatine, or Judith already attached to it, but they can also lead their own units as well by themselves, and they can join Battle Sisters, Sacrosancts, Dominions, and Retributors. Now, I particularly like the Dogmata for one thing is the unflinching determination while this model is leading a unit, you add one to the objective control of the unit. I think this is incredibly powerful. Objective control is a really potent stat that a lot of models have, and so upping, you know, something like a battle line unit that already generally will have a good objective capture score can be really nice. Also, the Executioner of Heretics, while an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a battle shock or leadership test is taken for that unit, they'll subtract 1 from the roll. And lastly, we have the Missionary. Now, the Missionary is a fun little one to bring into the Force. What this model is going to do is it's going to be able to lead some of our smaller units, and generally, we're going to look to bring this into our Arcro-flagellants just to turn them up that little bit better. Now, the Missionary has a couple of different special rules it can add. So while this model is leading a unit, weapons equipped will have sustained hits 1, which is really cool, but you'll also have Holy Piety, where each time a model in this unit makes a melee attack, unless that model's unit is battle shock, you can re-roll the hit roll, which is really nice. So just a little bit of extra power in there. Can join a Battle Sisters squad as well. Can also join the Arcro-flagellants if we want as well, Crusaders and Sisters Navidite squads as well if we ever chose to take them. And so here we have our sample army list for the Adepta Sororitas. The detachment we're using is Hallowed Martyrs. This is the detachment we've got access to at the moment, and our Canoness is going to lead the Force. Now it's going to be our Warlord, obviously, and then the enhancement we've gone and taken on this is called the Mantle of Failure. I think this is just really nice. It can only be taken on a Canoness or Palatine, but what this does is each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, you can change the damage characteristic of that attack to 1. This is incredibly good. You combine this with the fact that you have that once per game ability to have a 2-up invulnerable is really nice. Now we've then gone for the Plasma Pistol, Power Weapon, and Rod of Office. This is a loadout the box set will come with, but it's actually a nice one. Refunding command points is always good. We then have our Dogmata and the Missionary in the Force as well, and they're probably going to join the next squad here, which is the Battle Sister squad. Now this means we'll have 12 models in the unit, and they will still fit nicely inside the Sororitas Rhino we've got. But we've got the loadout here from the box set, which is a Bolt Gun and Chainsword on the Sister Superior, Stormbolter, Flamer, and Simulacrum Imperialis in the unit with the 6 Battle Sisters on the side. Now the other infantry unit we've got the Celestial Sacrosancts, the Sister Superior, we've got the Spear of the Faithful, and an Inferno pistol in there for good measure, and then 4 Sacrosancts with the Anointed Halberds. I think in the style of game where everything has become that little bit tougher in the game, I think having the extra strength is definitely going to be important. Now, Repentia squad in there as well, Seraphim squad equipped as per the box set, and then 3 Arcro-flagellants. Vehicle-wise, we've actually added an extra Penitent engine to go with 2 of them, and you can equip your Penitent engines however you want, but I do think the Buzzblades are probably my favourite way. The Exorcist there with the Missile Launcher and the Hunter-Killer Missile, Immolator with the Immolation Flares and Hunter-Killer Missile, and then our Sororitas Rhino as well, rounding out the Force. If you've got some ideas on what you want to do with your Adepta Sororitas, especially starting with a combat patrol, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me, we have a Discord server for the channel, and that is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. This is either via Patreon or YouTube members using one of our affiliate links and codes down there, like Baron of Dice, Gap Games, or Mithras Games, or by supporting us directly on Patreon or YouTube members. If you'd like to do any of those, we have links for that all in the description, and as a special thank you to our Patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Soren, Kenny Lowell, Alder and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Q Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C, and our YouTube members, Greenridge Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel. Once again, everyone, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.